Welcome to another episode of Inside the IFL. It's your boy Doug Bose. As always, I'm joined by Mr. Ed Ritter.
What it is.
What it is, what it do. Oh, get that mute button going over here. So, week 5 is in the books. I don't know why I just said that like a robot, but I did. So, real simple. I'm going to ask the real obvious question right away. Coming out of week 5, what's the biggest story to you?
I have no idea. Be honest.
What the hell? You said I have no idea.
I have no clue.
Under a damn rock? What do you know? Oh, man. Well, for me, the biggest story is Arizona really the best team we got? Because Baltimore and Tokyo both suffered upset defeat.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I don't think anybody expected Philadelphia to beat Tokyo. Well, I shouldn't say upset defeats because Baltimore didn't lose to a team in an upset. They did lose to Arizona, so I take that line back. But the Tokyo team losing to Philadelphia is clearly an upset this week.
Oh, I won't argue with that.
So, I mean, it was a big game, so but just to cover the games real quick, Philadelphia defeated Tokyo 26-20. Arizona defeated Baltimore 36-23. New York defeated Boston 30-6. And Carolina defeated Tampa Bay 45-38. So, a couple good games in there. So, end of the day, we have the standings. The standings in the league are as follows, and this is based on head-to-head, points scored, whatever, all tiebreakers involved. The Arizona Outlaws sit atop the league at 5-0. Tokyo's in second at 3-2. Baltimore's in third at 3-2. The Cobras are in fourth at 3-2. The Carolina Pack sit 2-3. In sixth is the Flight at 2-3. Boston is in 7 at 1-4, and at the bottom is the Stallions at 1-4. So that's where we sit. And I said this to you earlier. Boston and Tampa Bay are sitting at the bottom. Tampa Bay is just now starting to find their offense. There's no denying that. And they've had defense all season. Boston just hired a new offensive coordinator, and he actually showed some signs of life in that 30-6 defeat.
Yes, he did.
These two teams, to me, still have time, and they are technically only 2 games with 9 weeks to go out of the playoffs. So the entire league is separated by two games with playoff spots. So, I mean, hell, they're only 4 games behind Arizona.
That's completely insane.
So, even though they're sitting 1-4, both those teams are still well alive in the playoff hunt.
Wow.
So I found that to be curious, found that to be interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Right. So we're heading into week 6. And week 6 is going to be a fun week, in my opinion. And I'm going to get into these games because as far as week 5 goes and the results of all the games and what have you, to me, there really wasn't too much to discuss because, New York beating Boston, we saw that coming. Carolina beating Tampa Bay was expected. That did occur. Arizona, Baltimore, we could get into that game. Just mention the fact that we didn't think they would beat them by that many points. It was 13. They beat them decisively. I don't think anybody saw that coming. And we discussed how Philadelphia defeated Tokyo in that upset. So big props to the Flight and Chris Davis and them for really putting it together. Another huge running game for that team. So they're living and dying by the run. And I think it was Castro Patron who said during one of the live shows, he still finds it comical, and I'll keep repeating it because I thought it was a great line. The team known as the Flight live by the run.
Yeah, it is kind of funny.
So I found that kind of unique, found that kind of interesting. So we'll get into week 6. Week 6 is going to be a huge week. In my opinion, there's going to be some important games here. And you have the following games, and then we'll get into the pick'em, the power rankings, games of the week, and stuff of that nature. But you have The Flight, who are 2-3, coming off an upset victory, taking on the Baltimore Bulls, who are 3-2. The Pack sits at 2-3, and they're taking on the 1-4 Boston Liberty. The 1-4 Tampa Bay Stallions take on the 3-2 New York Cobras, and the undefeated Outlaws, who are 5-0, take on the 3-2 Tokyo Kitsune. To me, real simple, and I think you're going to agree with this 100%. Tampa Bay and Boston, I believe, are in must-win games. Their opponents, New York, they have the opportunity to get yet another game ahead of all the teams below them, while they sit at 3-2, could get to 4-2. And the Pack, while the Pack's sitting there, they are going to try and do their best to what they need to do, and that is to try and get more victories, because they were having some struggles, even though they were in the games. But sitting at 2-3, they'll get to 500. So that's why I find interesting about those two games. As far as Baltimore and the Flight go, this is another shot for the Flight to bounce back and show us they are who they are, because Chris Davis, their owner, has said more than enough times, they are better than the record shows. We are better than the record shows. This week, huge win over a team some people said was the best team in the league going into the week, and that was Tokyo, taking on Baltimore, who coming off a loss back-to-back weeks. That's another thing. They can't fall again. It's another must-win for them. And this is a shot for Arizona to separate themselves even more from the Pack by getting a victory over Tokyo. So to me, that's a must-win for Tokyo.
Agree with that.
So to me, they're all very interesting matchups. All very interesting. I'd be totally invested into all these games, because Tampa Bay's offense is coming to life, and they're going to New York. And I'll get into these here, in a minute when we break down each individual game. But they have an opportunity here to shock people, and I think that opportunity is alive and well. Can they get it? And so to me, that's where I want to start, and that's the 1-4 Stallions at the 3-2 Cobras. So coming into this game, for those of you not in the know, the Cobras come into this game with the number 3 offense in the league, and Tampa Bay's number 7. Now, we know they've had 2 very good offensive productions the last 2 weeks, but they've struggled the previous weeks. So they're really climbing as far as yards and everything. So they're right there, 7th in the league. New York has the number 3 pass offense, and Tampa Bay has the number 5 pass offense. And when it comes to the rushing game, neither team's exactly on top of the league. Cobras are 6th. The Stallions are 7th. But when we get to defense, that's where things get kind of interesting. The number 1 ranked defense in the league is the New York Cobras. I don't think you knew that, did you?
I did not know that.
They are 9 yards ahead of the Flight. So the New York Cobras are the number 1 defense in the league, and the Stallions are number 4. And the Stallions are only 201 yards behind the Cobras in total defense. So you got the number 1 and number 4 defense. Passing defense, they're in the same slots, 1 and 4. Rushing defense, the Stallions are 5th in the league. New York is last. Figure that one out.
Wow.
New York is the number 1 defense in the league, but they're dead last against the rush. That shows you how good they are against that pass. So I ask you this. Did the trade of Johnny Frost just come back to haunt the Stallions? Because you want to run the ball against this Cobra team.
Mm-hmm.
So I find that interesting. And by the way, while I talk about these stats, the individual player stats should be done before the end of Tuesday, I hope. So I'm going to get a little bit behind that. My compadre who helps me, Mr. Alan Drum, will be helping me around then because he's at Grandma's. So that's interesting for me.
Yeah.
I'll let Alex know. Alex, I'll be sending you the link when we get through the things we need to discuss first. Alex wants to get on the call. Apparently he has something he wants to say. So we'll get him on then.
That's cool.
So coming into this game, what is your feel for this game? Thoughts, the must-happens, or whatever you want to talk about.
Who are we talking about? New York?
And New York and Tampa Bay.
New York and Tampa Bay. Well, since Mr. Chisholm is in there in the chat. Figure out what everybody keeps saying and what they can't figure out to do, and that is to cut down on them damn interceptions. Them interceptions, I don't get it, because even Chisholm posted, and he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand why he keeps throwing all these damn interceptions. And I'm right there with you. I watch those games and I still don't understand. Wow. Tampa Bay's just got to keep moving along. Keep, getting rid of the shit they know doesn't work. Start getting in that more stuff they know works, and just keep, keep clawing and fighting at it, and do what you got to do.
Chris. Right. Chris is doing
Chris. I mean, it's simple as that. It's simple as that. Tampa Bay has to claw, fight, and do everything they can to win.
Yeah, they made a hell of a game this past week.
Right. New York has one thing they need to do, and that is you stop the interceptions. I think it's going to be a different offense.
Right. Now, I'll tell you a personal conversation I had with baby brother, which is Taco, Robert Bose. For those who are not in the know who Taco is. Him and I spoke about the team, and he had no clue they had the number one defense. He's like, really? He goes, I knew Chisholm was doing the damn thing, but holy shit. He was like completely ecstatic when he realized that they got to the top of the number one defense this week. So, I mean, to me, when I did the numbers, I was like, holy crap, they just took over the number one spot. I didn't expect that. They gave up 219 yards this past week to Boston, so that was a huge help to help them climb in the total defense. So, like I said, just 9 ahead of Philadelphia, who's sitting at number 2. So he was ecstatic about that. And then I told him, I said, you're 3-2. I said to him, I said, what is it that you guys need to do? And then he basically gave me this long dancing comment. How he was like, whoa, we won week 1 in a close one against Tokyo, who's one of the better teams in the league. I was like, I know that. He goes, and then we lost to the Bulls, which is another good team. That sucks. He goes, we almost beat Arizona, who's undefeated. I said, that's true. And then he goes, and then we came back and we won another game against the Flight when the Flight finally started to turn the corner, which was true. And they just got the win this week. So he's like, we've played all the tough teams. And he goes, we've lost to 2 of them. He goes, which puts us below the list of the better teams. I was like, right. He goes, but it all goes to what you just said. He goes, these damn interceptions. He goes, and the interceptions were killing us. He goes, and we were running too many damn swings to the damn running back. I said, yeah. So he goes, I eliminated that. If you didn't see it this week, I definitely saw it. That team looked more efficient because the swings were out of the playbook. So he's eliminated, in his opinion, 50% of the issue. Now he's trying to figure out the other 50%. So I kind of agree. Them swings were killing them the week before. And I believe Mark was even in the game going, they got to go. And they came. So, I was just.
And I'm going to interrupt you for just a second since, Mark is in here. Is that your prediction for the game that he's posted in there? He says, yes, I'll read it.
Is that really how he worded it?
That's how he worded it. And if that's his,
yes,
if that's
Mark's
his prediction for the game, I'll.
He says yes.
All right. He says Cobras 38, Purple Mini Horse 13. He called him the Purple Mini Horse.
Purple Mini Horse. Gosh. I don't know. I mean, let's be honest here. Tampa Bay did put up 38 points against Carolina and had 462 yards of offense. That's a lot of damn offense after coming off a 33-24 victory over Baltimore. They've clearly turned the corner despite the loss this week. So, all right. Well,
but I'll say this because I'm going to switch hats now. So, I'm going to go from my journalist hat, as you always tell me, to my and what did that 432? What did that 432 yards get him?
62.
Got him a loss. Got him a loss.
Yeah. That's what I said. They at least turn in the corner.
I'm not sweating the numbers. Everybody can, oh my God, look, Carolina's giving up this, they're giving up that.
Right.
I don't care. I don't care how many yards I give up. As long as we get the W, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. So it's interesting. They're doing something. That's all I can say. They've completely turned.
You could tell. Tampa Bay is definitely, I think his experiment, which, hey, you got to give him props for trying something. He figured out it's not working. He's going that he obviously likes and believes it works, and you could see it's starting to work for him.
Right. Yeah. And he had told folks he was going to do some testing for at least 3 weeks. Come week 4, they got a victory in an upset. This week, they put up 38 points, 462 yards. Now, they did come up with a defeat. But that's still way better than what they had been doing the previous 3 weeks.
Oh, that's a lot.
Not counting the victory. So that's why I sit back and say, if I'm playing the Stallions at any time the next couple of weeks, you're almost starting from scratch with them because you don't know what you're going up against because they're completely tweaking everything. So they're almost hard to prepare for.
Because all the plays they put in this week, they might have seen, it worked, but we're just not sold on it. Take them all out. Let's put all this in. We're sold on this. So it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's great about this is Jax is figuring it out. I think he's like, yeah, I like this, I like that, maybe this. And you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a good coach has to do. You got to figure out what works for you.
So, all right, well, we can move on from that particular game because we could be on that game for a while.
We could be on there all day.
Plenty of stuff to break down into that. And before I move on from it, I will say that in the pick'em, that it is a 9-6 lead in favor of the Cobras. So it's not too far of a gap in the voting. So 9-6 in favor of the Cobras. All right, moving on to the next game. We'll go to the Carolina Pack, who is 2-3 at the 1-4 Boston Liberty. And coming into this game, when you want to break down the stats and the figures and what have you, the Pack have the number 2 offense in the league overall. Boston is sitting 8th. Passing offense, Carolina's number 2. Boston is 8th. Rushing offense, Carolina is 5th. Boston is 8th. So unfortunately for the Liberty, they come in dead last in all offensive categories, which has been more than a beaten horse. That is what we've noticed has been their struggles. Yep. And like I said, they had much more production this week that just passed with their new offensive coordinator. So it's a start. They at least have something to get a little happy about. We'll see what happens this week. Defensively, Carolina comes in the 7th ranked defense. Carolina is number 6. Passing defense, Carolina is 6th. Boston is 5th. And as far as rushing goes, Carolina is 4th and Boston is 6th. So they're right next to each other all across the defensive boards. My thing is this. Clearly, Carolina's got the better offense. Defensively, Boston gets the edge slightly. So we'll beat this horse one more time this week. If Boston is where they are defensively with absolutely no offense, we know if they'd get some offense, it would keep that damn defense off the field and stop inflating their defensive numbers. We really have no clue how good that defense really can be statistic-wise because the offense has been so. So all I ask is, can my son, upgrade that offense just a little bit more? Because I know when the game ended, he called me up and said, I hope Bo Davis don't get pissed off at me because we only scored 6 points, and that sucked. But we went over 200 yards. We got 99 team rushing yards. And he said, and my personal player had 101 yards when going into the game. His running back had 121 rushing yards in 4 weeks. So in 4 weeks, they had 121 rushing yards by their star running back. And in one game, he got him 101 yards when he took over. So he's got this plan that he stated he wants to do, this, that, and the other. His playbook, he told me he would submit to me by dinner time today because he's ready to go because the boy worked and then going home and going to bed. So the thing is, Can he turn the corner just a little bit more this week against a team that clearly is an offensive powerhouse, putting up 45 points last week and 477 offensive yards? What's your take on this one? Because I know you got to look at this one as an analyst, a journalist, and as a coordinator.
As an analyst and journalist, I think it could be closer than what people think.
Wow.
I think Boston is starting to, Marcus is starting to move stuff along. As defensive coordinator for Carolina, they ain't got a shot in hell. They can't beat my defense. They're not going to stop Allen's offense. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly fast. I believe that. Allen believes that. So I wish them all the luck. I hope they start getting better, but it's not going to happen this week.
Yeah, I agree. I had to step away from them. I could hear you. I had to step away from them. Oh. All of a sudden, it got.
That's all right. I just don't. Like I said, people might think I'm a little cocky, a little arrogant, and you know what? I'm allowed to be. Allowed to be. Because I've proven what I can do with that defense. I know what I can do with the defense. I don't care if I give up 500 yards. 500 yards, it doesn't mean nothing to me. Doesn't mean shit. The guy, if you come out and your team gets 1,000 yards against my defense, I don't care. Because I know what my defense does. We don't give up a whole lot of points most of the time. So I don't care about the yardage. I don't. The guys, look what they're doing. I don't care. I don't care. I'll say it again. Keep getting the W. I don't care what you do against my defense as far as yardage goes. Because yardage and shit don't mean shit to me. It don't. I don't take. I'm not one of those guys that go, oh my God, we're giving up this many yards, we're giving up that many yards. No. How many points you giving up? That's where it comes down to it.
Yeah.
And and like I said, there's been games where we ain't give up a lot. But then there's been a few games where a couple big plays have killed us. We give up a few more points than we should have. But we got wins, and that's all that matters to me. I don't care. As long as we keep winning and we get where we got to go, I ain't sweating nothing. I ain't sweating nothing. I ain't freaking out. What's that?
So I think we got your storm coming in.
Oh, dude. Man, they were bad here last night.
Yeah, it
was nuts.
That's what I'm sitting here talking to you. The room's completely bright. I got the blinds open. And all of a sudden, it just became nighttime.
Yeah, that's what it did here yesterday. And then last night, me and the boys were watching the pay-per-view. And it got real quiet, and all of a sudden we saw a flash lightning, and boom! I jumped off the couch. Dwayne damn near jumped off the couch. I'm like, oh, my God. So, yeah, I hope you don't get something like that.
It looks like we're about to have all holy hell unleashed on us.
All right. I see Mighty has joined us. What's up, Mighty?
Mighty. The man with one of the sexiest voices in the game. Okay, then, right?
I like listening to him. I like listening to him talk.
Yes, he's got that unique voice.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. My whole system's just completely lagging right now. I bet just because of this storm.
Yeah, you can tell. You're starting to sound like you're far away, and it's starting to break up. And
yeah, it'll happen.
Yep, unfortunately.
Oh, boy. I think it just cleaned itself up, which is good. So my kids are going to be running in and out, freaking out. So my youngest one just went by me. You either stay in this apartment or you stay in Soli's, which is her friend a couple doors down. Right. So anyway, that being stated about this game, here's my take on this game. Carolina offensively, there's nothing to be discussed. We know what they're made of. Defensively, we pretty much know what they're made of. Now, they've had struggles here and or there, but when they're not struggling, they're absolutely ridiculous. Again, to me, a great defense. I I'll do the reverse here real quick about this defense, and you're going to kind of crack up because nobody thinks about these things but me because I'm just a weirdo like that.
This is the way you think. That's why I like the way you think.
Defensively, Carolina's 7th. Makes them next to last, right?
Yep.
When you watch Carolina play, you're the defensive coordinator. Do you feel your defense is 7th?
Oh,
Clear the
no.
answer is no, right? So here's the flip.
Right.
Here's the flip. I just talked about how Boston's defense would be better if they actually had some offense. Okay? If they actually had some offense to keep them off the field.
And I agree with you. And you can't argue that because that defense is on the field how much?
Right. So here's the flip. Carolina's on the field too much because their offense scores too fucking quick.
Maybe that. Yeah, okay. I can see that. I can understand where you're coming from.
And I believe that 100% about that defense. I think they're better than their numbers show because they scored. Carolina, I'd have to go back and look, but just off the top of my head, I think Carolina has more big play scores in the league than anybody outside of New York. And I think they're over New York, really. Those are the two teams that stand out to me the fastest. Big play scores, big bombs deep, more often than any other teams in the league, which in turn puts their defenses on the field, which is why I give New York's defense a lot of credit because despite that, they're still number 1.
Right. Yeah, and can't argue with that.
So, I mean, that's just my take on it.
Because, I mean, any person that understands football will agree with everything we're saying. That if your offense scores too fast and you're on there, you're going to be on there a lot. If your offense isn't scoring enough, you're going to be on there a lot. So, yeah, so your defensive stats are going to be ridiculous.
As a defensive coordinator, I got money right now that says you didn't even think about it like that, did you?
I did. Nope.
That makes you smile a little bit more.
I just knew our offense was scoring, and we were fine. We were starting to show what we can do. I was cool with it. The defense does what it needs to do when it has to. I didn't even think about, oh man, they scored. Oh, back on the field. Oh, let's go back on the field. No.
You're able to smile a little bit more about your defensive numbers, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So, but I say this about the boy. As the defensive coordinator, you're going to agree with this. You don't know what to prepare for the most part because you know he's going to do another 50-play swap.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I honestly wouldn't doubt it.
And put in 25. That's a 50-play swap. I know it's coming, and if it doesn't, I'll be shocked. I think that's what's going to happen. I
wouldn't doubt it. And I'll say this because I know you had told me that Marcus was worried, and I talked to Bo. I talked to Bo for a while after that game. Bo was very impressed with what he saw because he could see it. He could see the progressions coming. So he told me, tell Marcus he's doing a good job to keep it up. He's happy. And if Marcus was upset about the one comment where, because Bo said he had posted, what the hell? Here he told me, he said he saw it. The quarterback got sacked. The quarterback got sacked, and the lineman was doing his job. He said, "You watch it. He was doing it, but he wasn't."
That stands.
But I mean, he dropped back in pass protection, and he was standing there, but he just let the guy go by. He didn't put his arms out to try to do it.
Touch nothing.
He did Yeah, he was blocking the air, but he sure wasn't blocking anybody.
Man.
And Bo said he couldn't believe it. I'm like, you did what? He said, you got to go back and watch it.
It was the greatest air ball.
And I went back and I checked it out, and he did. He
I got to get the timestamp.
Oh, my God, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I wanted to do that yesterday and forgot. I want to get the timestamp of that play so I can share that with everybody because he bounces up out that stance. He gets in the position.
Oh, he does his job. He does his. He goes through the motions and everything, but he's just blocking air. He's just, the way he's blocking, you would think there's somebody there, but there's nobody there. I'm like,
yeah, it was great.
What the hell was that? I said, we'll find a glitch.
But like I told the boy, because he was worried, I said, dude, if you watch the game, you can see a lot of plays Boston ran that have been hurting them all season because you can only take so many out. Right. And he was like, that's true. So that's why I say I will be shocked if he doesn't try and gut the damn thing again this week. Because, he's going to make no secret about it, and I'm not afraid to share it. He took out 25. He put in 25. I expect it to happen again, so it's going to be hard to prepare for. That's a 50-play change. So,
yeah,
it's going to be interesting.
I know Bo has told Marcus, this was probably the best thing to happen because Bo's like me. We both have PlayStation 3s. What we see on PlayStation 3 is different than what the guys that have Xbox seats. I can tell it. I can see difference. And it's so because Bo was going nuts because he was running and his offense was clicking and it was doing stuff. And I told him, I said, well, you don't have the editor there, so you're not all the attributes on everybody. You don't have all the abilities, all this, all that. I said, so what you see here it's your offense is probably good, but it's just not because you're not seeing everything. So you have to. And he's like, yeah. So yeah. So when he started talking to Marcus, and Marcus said, well, I got the Xbox, I got it, and that's Bo told me, he said it was a no-brainer. I had a real easy decision to make.
Yep. So that is what it is as far as that goes. Before we get into the last two games, I want to give a quick shout out to the Relocation Football League, the RFL, that you can find at relocationfootballleague.com. It's one of our partners now. We're going to be working together to promote each other. We have a lot of plans, a lot of things we're working on, a lot of what have you. I'll be getting their link and stuff added to our website this week as I do the updates. So we're working on those things. There's other things that might be coming out of this, future endeavors, so to speak. We're totally working on things tonight at 8:30 on their channel. The Bison will taking on the Bulls live. So if you want to get in and check them out, it's 8:30 tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Bison and Bulls, I believe, is the game. I could be mistaken. So if I am, my apologies to everybody listening.
No, that was the other night. Bison and Bulls were the other night. I forget who's playing tonight, but yeah.
No, I don't know. I was only going based on the information I had on this.
Also, since we're talking about him, also that if you want to get your player into his league, get on his website, fill out the application, get your player over there in his league. He's doing Madden. We're doing All Pro. So, go check it out.
A total relocation. Thus the name of the league, Relocation Football League. All 32 teams have been relocated. And, basically the same concept we got going on here, except it's through the Madden game and the relocating of the teams.
Yep.
So I've been checking the game out, watching the game out. I know he made a statement yesterday, and I was talking to him about he's going to be doing what we're doing, and that is bringing in owners for those teams. I've already told him, put me down. I don't give a shit what team he gives me. I'll take a team, and I'll gladly run a team because I've said it and I'll say it again. That's the thing that kills me the most about the IFL is I'm not running a team.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I don't want to run a team over there, but I definitely want to get a player in. So I'm going to fill an application out and get my defensive end in there.
All right. So, moving along. So again, relocationfootballleague.com. Give them a check. And you can also find Schmitty, who's the guy who runs the league. He's on our Slack at Relocation FL for Sean Smith. So if you have any questions, you can hit him up directly through our Slack because he's with us. So maybe he'll be getting a player in our league here soon as well. All right, moving on.
I did see him say somewhere where he was planning on getting a player in.
All right. So we'll move on to the next game, which is real quick before I throw it out there. The Pack is leading the Pick'em in that game 9-5. So 9-5. I was actually didn't think it was going to be that close in the Pick'em. So kudos to the Liberty for getting some votes.
Nice.
All right, moving on. Baltimore Bulls, who are 3-2, are taking on the 2-3 Philadelphia Flight and breaking this game down. When you come into this game, you've got offensively the number 4 offense in the Baltimore Bulls and the number 6 offense in the Philadelphia Flight. Passing-wise, the Bulls are 4th and the Flight are 7th. Rushing offense, the Bulls are 3rd and the Philadelphia Flight are number 1 in the league. They are 115 yards better than the next team rushing. That's their bread and butter. Defensively, the Bulls are last in the league, which, again, that number caught me off guard once I tabulated all the numbers. And the Flight are now number 2, 9 yards behind the Cobras. So they're really close. Pass defense, the Bulls are last, and the Flight are number 2. And rushing defense, the Bulls are 7th, and the Flight are number 3. And I'm going to say the same thing to the Flight as I did last week. When they went into that game, they were going up against the last-ranked passing defense in the league. They get to do it again this week against the Bulls when their bread and butter is to run the football. Now, this week, though, the rushing defense is 7th. So it's not like it's – well, not 7th. I totally said that wrong. They're 6th. So let me correct that. They're 6th in rushing defense. But to me, it's got to ask Chris Davis, does he plan on attacking them through the air? Does he want to give that information up? I know if I'm running the flight, they did pretty good last week, I thought, throwing the ball. They didn't do it a lot because they ended up getting 114 passing yards because they ran the ball for 181. So for 295 yards. So over half their yards was on the ground. Not a shock because that's just what they do. But I thought they were going to throw the ball a little bit more last week against Tokyo, who was ranked last against the pass, who's now ranked 7th against the pass. So, again, this is a huge chance for the flight. I'm going to immediately get to the pick 'em so people know, and then I'll let you say something on this. The flight are down 9-6 in the pick 'em. So these games are all 9-6, 9-5, and things of that nature. So they're close in the voting all across the board so far, these first 3 games that we've discussed. After what the flight did to Tokyo, on paper, Tokyo looks better than Baltimore. We're going to find that out next week for sure because they play. But if they can upset Tokyo, smart money says they have an opportunity to upset Baltimore as well. Now, if I'm a betting man, I'm still taking Baltimore because it's Baltimore. But I still like their chances.
Oh, won't argue that. But I'm going to say this. I think every team in the league, because you and I have discussed this off air and personally and stuff, and I told you what I believe is the facts. And the facts is this. Arizona exposed that Baltimore defense. Go watch the game. You guys will understand what I'm talking about. I suggest every other team in the league now go watch that, figure out what they're doing, and then when you play Baltimore, that's what you do.
Well, we got Mighty. Mighty's in the chat. Mighty's their defensive coordinator, so we'll see if he has anything to say about that statement. So while we wait to see, we can discuss this more. But yeah, they did their business against that defense. Just to point out, they ended up putting up 427 yards against that defense. 210 in the air and 217 on the ground. Now, I mentioned that for a reason. 217 yards on the ground. The number 1 rushing team we got is Philadelphia. They're built to run.
Mm-hmm.
So if Arizona can run like that, does Philadelphia run for even more, or does Baltimore do the due diligence to say, not this week?
Well, if you're looking at it, I'm sure people's going to say, oh, Philadelphia is going to get more because that's what they do. But you have to also look at it. We all know Mighty and what he can do with the defense. So I'm sure he's been in there going, nope, that's got to go, that's got to go, that's got to go. And he's changing stuff.
We will see. As far as playbooks go, I think I've gotten 1 so far this week. When they're all beat tonight, so that was shocking. I normally get a lot of them yesterday. So I'm going to throw that out there. They're due today, ladies and gentlemen, before the end of the night. That's 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to get your playbooks in. And if you're not going to submit it, just simply write in your playbook page. No changes.
Alrighty.
I'll look at it.
But yeah, that's like I said, that's my opinion. Like I said, you and I talked quite a lengthy conversation about that. I honestly thought that Arizona gave us the blueprint, so to speak. So now the question is has Mighty gone in there and said, yeah, watch this. The blueprint's now changed. So,
Oh, man. Yeah. I just want to throw out.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
I
can't wait to see what happens.
I don't know if you're familiar with Tom Herman, but he's one of the coaches with Texas.
Yep.
There's a freaking great picture going viral. The Texas team is giving him a reverse RKO into a pool. It's freaking great.
Nice.
It's more like a damn neck breaker going into a pool, but yeah, it's freaking great. I just have to throw that out there as I happened to see the picture a second ago. But yeah, as far as this game goes, I will say it, and I will say it again. Philadelphia scored big on the trade the other week, getting Frost. Frost isn't going to put up big monster numbers. He's just not going to. That's not what he's designed to do. That's not his purpose. But nobody can tell me different. Him being in the game and getting those 10-plus carries kept Northrop fresh the whole game. And it was a huge, huge blow to Tokyo. They couldn't slow him down as a result.
I agree.
Oh, they want a big thing of thunder. I don't know if you were able to hear that.
No, I couldn't hear it. But
It is raining so bad I can barely see across the street, and I can see the parking lot outside is almost flooding already. Holy crap, and it's only been raining for 5 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, you definitely got that story we got.
So, I'm very interested in this game. I think this is a great game. I think this is a fun game. I think this is an awesome game. I think this is the game that is going to be great to watch. It's very intriguing from all angles, from all options, from all everything. And it's, to me, one of the better games of the week. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Baltimore does to stop this running game, and if Philadelphia decides to throw the ball and go away from the run.
Right.
So, all right.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see if Philly saw what I saw and goes, hey, I got to do this, and this. And then if Mighty went in and goes, screw this, I'm going with this now. So, yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll see. I'll find out tonight when everybody submits their playbooks. Of course, I'll have to keep that under my hat. But again, playbooks are due tonight, so everybody knows. So, that's where that goes. So we got one more game to talk about. It's coming up. One more. And it's the Arizona Outlaws, who are 5-0, the last remaining undefeated team at Tokyo, who's 3-2. Coming into this game, Tokyo has the number one offense in the league. Number one, Arizona is 5th. So it's 1 versus 5. Passing offense, Tokyo is 1. Arizona is 6th. Rushing-wise, Tokyo is 4th. Arizona is number 2. Again, to give Philadelphia some credit, Arizona's 2. That's 610 yards, while Philadelphia's got 725, 115-yard lead. Total defense. Tokyo comes in 5th in total defense. Arizona is number 3. And I just want to throw this out here because I'm going to give kudos to our top 3 defenses, which is the Cobras, the Flight, and the Outlaws. Okay? We see, I told you it was 9 yards difference between the Cobras and the Flight. Okay? You know the difference between the Cobras and the Outlaws?
No, I don't.
Well, if you can do quick math in your head before I even finish the sentence, the Outlaws have given up 1,707 yards. The Cobras, who are number 1 in the league, have given up 1,677, which is a 30-yard difference. The top 3 defenses are separated by 30 total yards. Cobras have a 9-yard lead over Philadelphia, 30-yard lead over Arizona, and that means the Flight lead the Outlaws by 21 yards. And then it's over 100 yards difference to the next team in total defense.
We have a little situation here.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, you might want to check out the chat.
He won't be on until tomorrow. I saw that. And I've continued with the show.
Okay. So, I'm just not sure.
Well, man, people can hate me if they wish. People can hate me if they will. We allow an opportunity for things like that to occur. People will start taking advantage of it. Just saying. If I get overrode, then I get overrode because this is a league game. It ain't my league. This is our league.
Right.
So if people are okay with it, then let people be okay with it. I would say this: Philadelphia. Who are they playing this week? Baltimore. I'd be more than willing to listen to Mighty and TJ's opinion on that. If they're okay with it, then I'm okay with it more than anybody else because they're the ones preparing for it. If they're okay with him having an extra 24 hours, then so am I. All right, now continuing on. Like I said, Philadelphia, Arizona's number 3, Tokyo's number 5 in total defense. Pass defense, Tokyo is 7th, Arizona is 3rd, and in rushing defense, this is where it's going to be fun in this game. Tokyo's the number 2 rush defense. I'm sorry, the number 5 rush defense in the league, and Arizona's number 1. So, yeah, 2 good rushing defenses in this game. Uh-oh, you got quiet. You must be reading.
Nothing. I'm just thinking another game that seems even across the board, and all the all statistics are this. That's why I've said it from the get-go. I think the IFL is going to be completely insane for the rest of the year. Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. No question.
All right.
No question. So
that's cool, Alex. Alex just said he just put his coach app in for the RFL.
That being stated, with this game, how we're looking at this game, how we're analyzing this game, and how we can break down this game. Arizona's coming off a huge 13-point victory over Baltimore.
Right.
Tokyo's coming in on an upset loss to Philadelphia. Prior to last week, even though they already had 1 defeat, because it was the last-second defeat, some people said Tokyo was the best team in the league. Not just better than Arizona, the best team in the league. They lost. If they win this game, does that make them the best team, or is Arizona the best team? Does Baltimore beat who is it? Jeez, I just lost my train of thought. Baltimore gets a victory this week over Philadelphia. Does that make them the best team? So let's just say, for sake of argument, Baltimore beats Philadelphia, goes to 4-2. Tokyo beats Arizona, goes to 4-2, dropping Arizona to 5-1. Who's the best team? Do we go by a record?
Wow.
That's just insane when you really analyze all this.
That's an interesting thing, but at the same time, when it comes to stats, every league is the same. You go by who has the best record. That's who's your number 1 team. But I completely understand what you're saying. This team beat this team beat that team, and then they're all intertwined now. So yeah.
The way I look at it, who is going to be the best? Who is the best? I'm putting you on the spot right now. Who's the best team in the IFL right now?
Right now?
In your opinion. If you had to put down, if someone said, here's $1, put it down, you win $1 million. Who are you picking over everybody?
I'm picking Arizona.
I'm asking the chat the same thing. If you got $1 to put down right now, and if you were correct, you won $1 million. What one team do you trust to beat all the others in the league? And remember, some of these teams have already played each other, and teams have already lost to certain teams. But does that matter? Are they a different team today? Like I see Cody's already said the Cobras. The Cobras have already lost to Arizona. But I would say Arizona is probably no better or no worse than when they played a few weeks ago, but I do think New York's better than when they played a few weeks ago, and that was a close game.
Okay.
I don't know if you agree with that. So, I'm looking at this. We'll see. See what other teams get thrown out there, if any. But I find that to be a fun situation.
Yeah, that's a very interesting question.
And I want to throw out this real quick while we're talking about this. Real quick, I'll throw in the pick'em numbers real quick. It's 9-6 in this game as well in favor of the Outlaws. So every game's 9-6, except for Carolina-Boston game, which is 9-5. So someone must not have voted on that game because there's a totally missing vote. So yeah, that's interesting. Huh. Okay, I don't know.
So we had them beat and let them back in it. Interesting.
Okay. Had them beat, let them back in it. I remember that game vividly, but okay. I don't know if that's the case, but we'll see. So, alrighty. Your take for this game. What do these teams got to do and not do?
That's a good question.
I look at it this way.
I say Arizona has to keep. Arizona has to keep doing what they're doing. Just don't get caught up in the statistics and our statistics, so we're not doing anything. That's not the case. Your offense is looking good. Your defense is looking. Just keep doing what you're doing. Because as of right now, nobody can figure out how to stop it anyway. Since nobody has, so just keep doing what you're doing. Tokyo has to forget, and this is a whole new. Just start. This is a new season. This is where we start. Let's go. In my opinion, that's what these teams need to do.
Okay. I looked at this game. These are two defenses that just say, want to run this way, get the hell out of here. This game, to me, is going to come down to who can throw the football the best, who's better at throwing the ball around in this particular game. Now, when you look at this game, Tokyo comes in with the number 1 pass offense. Arizona's number 6. To me, it gives them a huge advantage. Now, I got to go back and finish some of the stats, like individual player stats. But when you look at the interceptions in this league, David Lee has 3 interceptions. C.J. Coates has 3 interceptions. Frank Kurtz has 2 interceptions. I say Konami Kubota, I might be saying that wrong. He's got 2 interceptions. That's their 4 guys in that secondary. Okay? So when you add that up, you got 3, 3, 2, and 2. That's 10 interceptions from their 4 guys that start in that secondary. When you look at the Outlaws, Jimmy Cash has 4. Hank Tatum has 3, which puts you to 7. Stevie T. Diggs has 2, puts you to 9. But then you got to go find Willie Casper, who also has just 1. That is also 10 interceptions. So it's like, 10 to 10. But then that's where I go into the one stat that just stands out, and that is 3 of the 4 Outlaw secondary players have pick sixes. Nobody has gotten a pick 6 yet for Tokyo. They both have the 10 interceptions, but for some reason, the Outlaws know how to take a pick and turn it into 6. Could that pick 6, if they pulled one off, be the difference between winning and losing?
All good. Yeah, it could very easily.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, that just.
Hold on for just a second. I'll be right back.
While he's away, I'll touch on that even more. To me, that's just a big factor. Getting the ball, knocking the ball down, and C.J. Coates for Tokyo, and I don't know if Ramos is in the chat with us right now, but if he was, I think he'd even tell you this. C.J. Coates, he touches the ball every game, knocks the ball down every game, but he just can't intercept the ball. He has 3 interceptions. They all came in one game. And it's just rather hilarious. So, for me, when I look at this, it's going to come down to the total defense to win this game, because I think Tokyo has the better offense. I firmly believe they have the better offense, and I think the stats prove that. But I think Arizona has the better overall defense. So I think they're a much better defense. I think they're a much more sound defense, and that's how I feel about Tokyo with the offense. And those pick sixes and getting to the ball like they do and turning it upfield, to me, can make a major difference in this game. And last week, Arizona finally seemed to find their running game. Now, can they do it again this week? We'll see, because Tokyo is near the top in rushing defense at number 2. Can they run against that defense? It's going to remain to be seen. So it's going to be a quite interesting game. It's going to be a quite interesting contest. So we'll see where it goes. I don't know if Ed came back yet or not.
Yeah, I'm here.
I don't know how much of that you heard and how much you agree or disagree with what you heard.
Oh, I agree with everything. Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, had to turn the fan on and put a couple of these windows up that I didn't know were down because it started to get hot in here.
All right. Well, I'm going to get to the power rankings.
Cool.
Okay, we're going to get to the power rankings. I'm going to throw it out there again. Owners got to give me those power rankings. I got 6 of 8 owners to step up this week, which is the highest ever. Had a few other people involved to send in power rankings through other people, threw them out there. So we're going to start from the bottom, like we always do, and put these out here and make the statement of who's who and who's what. So don't know if you have an opinion on these particular power rankings or not. So
I'll wait till you're done, and then maybe I'll chime in.
But the power rankings I found to be quite interesting this week. So we'll start from the bottom like I usually do. The 8th team in the power rankings is the Boston Liberty, which I don't have them 8th personally. I have them 7th. And I'll explain why in a second. Tampa Bay is 7th. And these are the 2 teams that are 1 and 4. And I put Boston ahead of Tampa Bay on my personal rankings because they've beat them head to head. Even though Tampa Bay is beating Baltimore. To me, head to head means more.
Right.
All right.
I agree.
Number 6 in the power rankings is the Carolina Pack. So Carolina is number 6. Number 5 in the power ranking is the Philadelphia Flight. Number 4 is the Baltimore Bulls. Number 3 is the Tokyo Kitsune. The New York Cobras are number 2, which caught me off guard. I didn't expect to see that. And the Arizona Outlaws are the unanimous number 1, the only team that got number 1 votes this week. So your thoughts on that?
It's interesting. So I'm going to say right now, but that's very interesting.
So yeah, is there anything in there you wholeheartedly, completely think is ridiculous?
I want to check something here first. Okay. They got. Hold on, somebody's at my door.
His door's been very busy today. Quite a few times now. Somebody's not. So I'm asking the chat. I don't know who's all still in our chat. Anything in these power rankings you think is ridiculous that you totally disagree with? Again, I'll say the power rankings again for those who didn't quite hear it or forget already. Boston, Tampa Bay, Carolina, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Tokyo, New York, Arizona. And that's in reverse order.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
I'm going to get pissed off in about 3 seconds.
Okay. Trying to see if the chat has any opinions on the power rankings. Haven't
well,
gotten
as you know, we got a new pool.
Mm-hmm.
I finally got it filled. We went out to dinner last night. We come home, and we got one of those ones where you fill the ring at the top up with air, and then you fill the water, and it just lets it fill up by itself, and then it, because of the ring with the air, and it stays up. And well, we get home last night from dinner, and all the air is gone out of that top ring. So I got to figure out what the hell's going on with it. So Drew gets home from his summer program and asked if he can get in the pool. I said, no, you can't get in the pool with it like that. So now he just sent the neighbor kids up to the door. And now the neighbor kids, we want to know if we can get in the pool. No, I told him no. So, yeah.
I'm trying to get him involved.
So I'm like, yeah, this is.
That's funny.
Going to piss me off.
Kids will be kids.
Oh, I know.
I know Alex wants to get on the show, so I'm going to get him in here in a few minutes.
So go over those rankings with me one more time.
Okay, in reverse order. As I stated, this is the reverse order. This is 8 through 1. You got the Boston Liberty, the Tampa Bay Stallions, the Carolina Pack, the Philadelphia Flight, the Baltimore Bulls, the Tokyo Kitsune, the New York Cobras and the Arizona Outlaws.
All right. 7 and 8, in my opinion, should be switched. Strictly due because, like you said, Boston beat them head up. Carolina, Philly should be switched because we beat them straight up.
Okay. That's a good point. I forgot about that game.
Let's see.
Now,
I can see Baltimore. I can see Baltimore dropping because they've lost 2 in a row. I can understand that.
Right.
But I'm not sure about New York being number 2. I don't know about that one. That kind of.
Let's take your own statements and my statements. New York beat Tokyo head up in week 1.
That's true. I forgot about that. That's right. Well, maybe they are where they should be then.
Yeah, if we want to go by a lot of heads up.
I agree. Heads up means a lot more than anything else. And yeah.
Right. And now, of course, when you look at the games, you're like, who did they lose to? We'll take New York since that's the team sitting number 2. New York lost to Baltimore, who's now lost 2 straight, sitting at 4th. Does Baltimore deserve to be ahead of them since they didn't play Tokyo yet? I say no, because they're on a 2-game losing streak. How do you put them ahead of somebody who's hot? The joy. Uh-oh. The joy of when head-to-head overrides hotness.
So they can. No. I was going to say we can. All you do is say no one was getting in the pool until we get it fixed.
Game of the week.
There's no hole in it anywhere that you see. Where the hell how did the air come out?
It's fun.
Okay. All right, maybe it did pop out. All right. Okay. Not right now. I'm not worried about blowing up that pool. Sorry, dealing with my son.
All good, man. We understand.
Yeah, I gotta get off here soon. I gotta get this table cleaned up. Okay. Yep, I'm married with children, and I have a honey-do list because I get to stay at home, and my wife works. So if I don't get the honey-do list home, she has every get it done before she gets home. She has every right to be pissed. So I want to, certain stuff done. Then I gotta get. So like I said, I gotta get the table cleaned off, get supper ready because Vacation Bible School starts this week.
Well, I'm gonna get to the game of the week so people know the schedule.
Yeah.
Saturday at 1:00. These will be the 2 games that'll be airing. It'll be Carolina at Boston. Will be at 1:00, and Tampa Bay at New York will be at 1:00. 4:00 on Saturday, and that's 1:00 Saturday for those games. The 4:00 games on Saturday are going to be real simple. It will actually be Arizona at Tokyo, the Saturday game, and the game of the week that will air on Friday at 8:30. As far as I understand from Cody Prime himself, Optimus Prime, Cody Prime, he had told me he would be back in time for the 23rd game. That would mean this game, and that means if he's with us, hopefully everything's worked out with his personal life, he will be calling the Baltimore Bulls at Philadelphia Flight game that earned the game of the week within 8 votes compared to 6 that was given to the Arizona and Tokyo game. The other 2 games combined for 1 vote. Because the Carolina Boston game had 0 votes. Well, I should say it was 7-5 because I'm counting my own personal votes in there when I put the numbers up so people to vote. So it was 7-5. But the Cobra Stallion game got a vote. So kudos to the Bulls in the flight for getting the game of the week. Kudos to Arizona and Tokyo for getting the Saturday showcase game, as it's being called recently. So I want to send Alex this link here so he can get on and see what he has to say real quick, because like you, I want to wrap this up within the next 15 minutes. So Alex,
all right, hold on. I'll be right back.
Alex, the link has been sent to you. It is on Slack, so you can get up in here. Yes, Cody, gotta love kids indeed. So by 3:30, ladies and gentlemen, I'm planning on wrapping this up. So it's actually 12 minutes, not 15 minutes. Because like Ed, I work all night, third shift, have kids of my own, and I also have a honeydew list. Because when you have a woman in your life, the honeydew list is part of life. Because happy life only happens with a happy wife. Happy wife, happy life. Because if not, it is what it is. And I'll tell you now, any man who doesn't agree, he abuses his woman, one way or another.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
It's like we're all going to vacation Bible school tonight. Oh, my.
Hey, guys. So I'm calling the 4 o'clock game, huh?
I don't know. You have to get Judge Davis on that one, but if you are, cool.
I plan to. In fact, if Davis is on, I'm going to send him a message right now through Slack.
All right, that's between you guys.
No, he's not on, but I'll send him a message anyway.
There you go.
Cool. You just gotta make me one promise.
What is that?
Do not make your mom and dad mad by shushing them.
I know.
Shush.
Because honestly, you shushed them, and I'm like, oh no, they're gonna close. Oh, they're gonna shut it down, and that's gonna be it.
Oh boy.
I thought they were going to kill me for a second.
Oh gosh. That's great. That is great. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Oh, that was awesome.
It was funny. It was funny.
But yeah, I have a son that likes to shush me too. So.
Now, I know this, Alex. You had stated you had an announcement or something you said you wanted to make and thought we were doing a show the other day and you didn't get a chance to, so I'm not sure what that was. If you want to speak on that now.
What I was planning to do was to make another Madden League, like an online CFM, where I'm not a owner in it, but I would be calling the games and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I have no idea how to go about it.
Right. If it's Madden type oriented, Schmitty might be the guy to go to on that one.
Yep. I'll ask him about it today when the game starts.
There you go. Alrighty.
Awesome. Alrighty. But yeah, I'm sorry. I still keep. I can't help it. Like I said, I was waiting after he shushed them both. I was waiting for him to say, "That's it, turn it off." And I was waiting for Alex to say, "I gotta go, guys. I'm in trouble." But
Yep.
I was like, okay, here we go.
Yep.
Oh boy, I thought that was the end of him.
I'm well aware of being shushed in, because like Alex, cerebral palsy. So when he gets to doing something, he gets very focused and doesn't want to be distracted. And he's only 10. So I can just imagine what he's going to be doing when he gets closer to Alex's age.
Yeah, that's funny. You gotta love it.
And guys, just so you know, I am dedicated to helping you guys make this the best product you possibly can.
Oh, we know.
And we appreciate that.
We definitely know that.
Just wanted to say that publicly, guys.
Yep. We appreciate
that. But yeah, I don't know if we got anything else to do or anything else to talk about.
There's Alex's
game predictions and stuff, or
Oh my!
I'm fucking losing it, and I don't know why.
Why are you losing it? Because you're just
I don't know why. It's just I don't know why I'm laughing. But,
Hey, right.
movie?
I can't deal right now. Yeah.
He's losing it, folks. He is losing it. You got Alex like cracking up too. Look at him. That's great. Start laughing, and he's going to laugh here 2 seconds. I'm going to be losing it.
If he gets any closer, he's going to be kissing the camera. Damn. Oh, I just went the hell. We just lost all control. Holy shit.
Only on Inside the IFL, folks.
Yes, that's true. Very good comment.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my goodness.
And by the way, I just got my visual resume finished, so hopefully that'll lead to something.
Yeah, that'd be cool if you can do something over in the RFL.
Oh, man.
I would love to do commentary for that league, especially since I'm probably going to do it with my Astro gaming headset. I've got connected to my PS4 and everything. It's an A60, by the way, guys.
Okay. Sounds good.
And plus, that thing's going to have way better mic quality than doing it through this webcam.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you get everything hooked up to call the game, good luck. Have fun with it. Maybe let mom and dad know what's going on. Give them an idea about how long it's going to take you. So you're not. We don't want to see you on camera.
You just had to go there, didn't you? Because when his dad come in there and said, "You have shushed me and you have shushed your mother," I'm like, "Oh no!" I said, "What did he do?" No.
Oh man, too much. Well, I don't know if anyone has any more final comments, because if not, we'll wrap this puppy up. Remember, coaches, get your playbooks in. Davis, I know your situation. I will reach out to Mighty and TJ, see if they're good with it. If not, it is what it is. And yeah, we're heading into week 6. Headed into week 6 already.
That's crazy. Week 6 already. Wow.
See you guys.
All right, man.
All right, yeah, this is week 6. We're almost there. We're almost halfway through the season. It's, we got one more week, and then everybody has played everybody at least once. It's wow.
Yeah, once we get to halfway,
crazy.
We need to have a halfway show celebration, if you will.
Yep, I agree.
No one thought we'd get here at all. We got here, and we'd be halfway there, and then we have the other half to go. And just enjoy it. And thank people who are involved. It's celebration involved. And I'm going to touch on one more last final thing, and I will give you the 411 on what I'm about to say personally on a private call.
Cool.
I made mention of this a couple times on Slack. Who in the IFL is not an owner and would one day maybe want to do so? Because unfortunately in this game, because it's a hobby, owners could come and go, teams could come and go, etc., etc. I need to know who's interested and not interested in a quote-unquote team, okay? For those reasons. I am also frowning highly upon votes to figure out who they are, because quite frankly, that's when bias can be claimed. So I will tell anyone and everyone who has any interest in one day becoming an IFL owner to show your ass. Not literally. For God's sakes, please don't do that.
Oh, Lord, please don't. Yeah,
Uh,
you better be very specific when you say that.
be around. I need guys to be around. I do not demand you to show up for games because you have your own life. You do what you need to do. This is a hobby. Watch the games when you can watch them. Be involved on Slack when you can be. Send me information about how you think we can make the league better. Whatever the case may be, use your imagination on how to be active in this league. It is
Become a
crucial.
coach.
Yes, find a job somewhere. Find the team you work for. See if they want you as a coordinator. That's going to be a huge plus as well. So I'm going to throw this out there. Activity is going to be key. When we have Inside the IFLs, tune in. Can't hear the show live? Watch the playback. Leave a comment. That shows me you watched it. That shows me you listened to it. Comment on something you heard on the show, which will show me even more that you listened to it, because some jackass might just leave a comment. Great show, guys. Never listened to a second of it. Be involved in the games. When we have games going on, share the links on your Twitters, on your Facebooks, everything. Tag me personally when you do these things. There is a reason for this. As to what that reason is, it's for me to know and you to find out later. It is a highly, highly important to anyone who is interested in one day becoming an owner in this league, wanting to be a part of this league in a higher level. Because we need to know who is committed, who isn't committed. So again, show your ass during the games. Not literally. Be there. Whether it's late, on time, when it's live, when it's recorded, let us know. Comment on things. Like videos. Be a part of things. Comment on Slack. Be a part of things there. Make suggestions. Again, share the links to Inside the IFL. Share the links to the games when they're live. Retweet it. Everything that you do, again, tag me when you do it. If you can't tag me on Facebook, make sure you send me a friend request. I'm easy to find. You know my name. If you need to tag me on Twitter, you should know the link on Twitter. For those of you who, for some reason, don't know the Twitter, it's IFL Zone. That's where we're at on that. Okay? Share everything you can. Share everything you can. If you are hearing me say this to you now, you can impress me by going into the IFL Zone or our other IFL YouTube, because we do have two of them. One's for Inside the IFL, one's for the games. Go and grab things. Go grab random games, videos. Share them. Promote this. Get people involved. Get people to join. Let me know that you found them. And eventually, you'll understand why I'm doing all this. So it's important. Trust me, it's important for those who are committed to this league and want to be a part. So, at the end of the day, that's all I can say. I'm interested in who wants to be a part of this league on a bigger level, because some people say they do. Some people say they want this. Some people say they want that. And I see differently with some guys. Some guys don't seem to be too important with the league, but yet I'm impressed by their activity. So it's probably both worlds. So that all being said, Ed, if you have any more final comments, I'll defer to you. If not, I'm going to put this puppy to bed, and we'll see the activity come in over the next few
I agree
weeks.
with everything you said, and 100%. But I'll say this: everybody knows by now. I can't really tag anybody in this or that because I am not on social media anymore. I have issues with a lot of stuff that happens, so I've got rid of everything. And honestly, if it wasn't for certain things that are coming up with my family and stuff, I'd be done with Facebook as well, because Facebook for me is just too much freaking drama anymore. So yeah, that is my last social media thing that I'm still on, but eventually I'm probably going to get off it too. And then, yeah, because I can't take. But for everybody that's still on there and loves all that stuff, do exactly what Doug has, ask and, tweet everything out, share the link everywhere, get everybody involved. I just, maybe it's just because, I'm 43 years old and I'm married and I have kids and I could care less about social media. It's just not my thing. I tried it for a while because, I have teenagers that, Dad, you're stupid. You're not on this. You're not on that. Yeah, I tried all this, tried all that. And then, that's okay. But like I said, I agree with everything you said. Got to get the name out there. Got to get more people involved. And if you want to be an owner in this league, best way to do it is reach out to the current owners that are in the league now and say, hey, do you need a coach? Hey, do you need a scout? Hey, do you need this? Hey, do you need that? Get your foot in the door.
Yes.
Because it will help, because when people say, oh, this guy's had experience doing this, he's had experience doing that, maybe it's time for him to go to that next level and have experience as an owner.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how most of us that are owners, or coaches or whatever, that's how we got started. You started here, you start there, you work your way up. It's just, that's how it works.
Yep. So, all right. Sounds good to me. All right.
Sounds good to me. I think we can put this one to bed.
Yeah, we'll put this one to bed, and then, like I said, I'll give you a quick shout to let you know some 411 stuff. Everybody was in on the chat. It was a good chat tonight. This morning, this afternoon, whatever the hell this is, this evening. Appreciate it. Everybody catches the playback. Awesome. Again, get involved, be involved, yada, yada, yada. So, that being stated, for the big dog, Ed Ritter, as the ghost, this was Inside the IFL, episode 22. And we'll catch you again either later this week or next Monday. So, later.
Peace.